Thank you guys for taking time out of your day to hop on. And somebody who invited you cares a lot about you, and they wanted you to be able to kind of hear and see what we have been a part of for the last few months. My name is Dana Menardez, and really quick, I'm a wife and mother of 6 kids. You probably will hear background noise if I'm not muted, so I'm going to be quick to get Bryan and Amy to take over. But I was introduced to this company, and I do not believe in coincidence. And I believe that if you're hearing this, then it's not a coincidence either. And I was introduced to it during a time in my life where I wasn't looking for an opportunity. But what I do know is that opportunity never presents itself at a convenient time. And if it did, truly, we just never think, oh, I'm going to go out and do this and it'll be the perfect timing. Usually opportunity is birthed out of adversity. And that is kind of the story here with BioReigns. And so when I took a look at this company, my background is in this industry. I've had an incredible opportunity to have a lot of experiences here in the network marketing space. But when I heard what they could do and what they had their hands on, I realized that this company was going to be the next $1 billion in health and wellness because of what they have, their technology and the leadership. And the truth is everything does rise and fall on leadership. And so the first thing I asked for after I heard about the company and met with the biotech owner, I said, I want to meet Bryan Reed. I want to have a conversation with him, and I want to get a vibe for him. I want to hear his heart. I want to hear his story. And so we wanted to give you an opportunity to meet Bryan and Amy, why they decided to be a part of BioReigns, because Bryan and Amy did not need to do BioReigns. They're very successful in their own right. Bryan has a background with real estate investment, has been incredibly successful, finance, medical, also in the fitness industry. And again, I don't believe in coincidence, where he's been able to take his background, his diversity, and see something that maybe other people want to have with the potential of bringing this product to market in the vehicle of network marketing. And so I'd love to pass it over to Bryan and really have him cast some vision about the timing of the company, what we have here and what we're doing. Because even though the company is newer, in our first full year, we became the 15th fastest company growing globally. And we haven't even stepped our toes, really barely outside of the US. And so I'm going to have Bryan take it away. And his wife is a sweetheart too. She's sharp cookie. I've really enjoyed learning from her and watching her, I would say, facilitate a lot behind the scenes, but she's a force, and I've really enjoyed getting to know her as well. So Bryan and Amy, thank you for being here, and I'm gonna let you guys take it away.
All right. Well, thank you, Dana, for having us, and thank you all for taking your time tonight to hear about BioReigns. So my name is Bryan Reed. I'm a founder, CEO, and this is my wife, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy Reed.
And, I love when you're talking about coincidences because, BioReigns, we come from the same belief system. We believe everything happens for a reason. And, Dana, when you say, I've been very successful in real estate and I've been successful as an entrepreneur, I have. I've also been very unsuccessful at all of those things too. And so part of my story, which is interesting, is I have 2 lives. And the first life really was before I met Amy, and my second life was after. And my first life, I was a daily user of drugs and alcohol. I came from a family of addiction, and I started using at a very young age. And I learned how to kind of get by but not really be happy. And I learned what to say and when to say it, but I wasn't truly happy. I wasn't truly passionate. I was just kind of going through the motions, and I knew what to say to sell houses, and I knew what to do to invest in real estate and buy houses and do all of those things. But like we say, things happen for a reason. And in 2008, 2009, when the real estate market and the economy crashed, I crashed with it. I had just met Amy a few months before. We were living together, and she saw my addiction. She knew it was a problem, and it was a big problem. Not many people knew that because I tried to hide from it and cover it up. And, I was ashamed of it, and I didn't want to be honest, and I didn't want people to know. And, at that time when it all came crashing down, I told Amy, if you're here for all of these things and all of these possessions, and they're all going to go away. And, you know, Amy looked at me and she just basically told me how much she loved me, and she just wanted me to get the help that I needed. And it was in that moment that I raised my hand. I was able to get help. I was able to get clean and sober. I've been clean and sober for over a decade. And, you know, Amy and I, we got married, we have kids, we have our dogs, we have all of these things, and we became very successful as a couple. She supported me in everything that I do. She held down the fort. I worked really hard. We did a lot of very good things, and we were very smart with our investments and our money. And after 6 years, we were able to become financially independent. I took a swing at retirement, drove everybody around me completely insane.
Literally.
And Amy basically kicked me out of the house and told me I need to figure out something to do because I'm driving everybody crazy. So I did. And through my recovery, I started helping people get sober. And I wanted to give back, and I got a lot out of that. And we were able to help a lot of people. And through that, I started learning about, you know, the compounds of street drugs, compounds of prescription drugs, how similar they were, transferring addiction, what all of that meant. And, you know, as things came to be, I did learn about, you know, CBD and what I felt that could do. I was very intrigued with it, but I knew it could not absorb into the body. And from my background in fitness, I knew that was a really big problem. And I became discouraged. But as we say, everything happens for a reason. And as luck would have it, a very good friend of mine reminded me that we knew somebody that worked and specialized in the human body, proteins, peptides, and things like that. So I reached out to that gentleman. He invited me to the lab, and he basically introduced this technology to me. He had been using CBD for years and years and years. He synergizes it with curcumin. And all of this was basically done in the medical field. And through working with him, we were able to take this onto a consumer level, and we created BioReigns. And we basically did that because we wanted to just give back and help people. Because that's really, you know, that was my commitment. I wanted to just make a living amends to the world, and just be able to give back as so many gave to me to help me. No strings attached, and just out of the kindness of their own heart. And Amy and I, we basically went down that road. So it's very interesting. And we spent a lot of time talking to Dana.
Yeah.
And she's a professional. She's very educated. She has a lot of experience. So she's helped us a great deal. One thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to scientifically prove what our technology could do. And we did that through measuring Z-scores being lowered in the brain with the QEEG. And that was the first way that we were able to show people what our products actually do in the body. And the second thing that we're doing now is we're able to utilize something that we call Product X with an ingredient called Genema, that is lower and stabilizing glucose and blood sugar in the body. And we're able to measure that by measuring blood. And that's something that companies cannot do. Companies are unable to take results through blood and things like that and actually show what the products are doing. We feel that that's very important because it proves our technology. And it proves that what we're saying is true, and it is real, and it can be verified. And that's something that I think that's the disruptor. And we wanted to do that. And we rolled this out very strategically to disrupt the health and wellness, health and fitness, and anti-aging industry as a whole. So when we talk about timing, now is the time, because the company is growing very quickly. We're in the top 15 in the world. And we're going to actually, you know, really start turning this up now that people are starting to see that proof of concept. So for us, you know, one great thing is as a businessman, myself personally, and for you as business people, you have to think, if I'm going to invest my time, my effort, my energy into something and push these, you know, money making tasks, I want to make sure that I'm rewarded. Well, the first thing that you want to find, in my opinion, is something that nobody else has.
Absolutely.
Think about that. With technology, if you have what nobody else has and you're able to offer that, you've eliminated the competition.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different vitamins, and there's a lot of different supplements and health and wellness and a lot of different skin products. But here's the reality. They cannot deliver those ingredients the way that we do. And the way that we deliver these ingredients is the way that the body wants everything delivered. We are water, and this complex binds with water. So it's identified as water, and it's absorbed on a cellular level, meaning it instantly hits your cells for an immediate effect. And that's the difference, folks, because what you're taking is what's actually being utilized in your body and hitting your cells. And that's where the other companies fall short. The other companies are using tablets and capsules and oils and things along those lines. Now, I'm not going to get into a big discussion about it. I'm just going to simply state a scientific fact. The body identifies all of that as foreign. It starts to tax itself to start a digestion process. And you're basically taking counteractive steps, making your body work to get something in that you think is going to get in, and it simply may or may not, or at a very low percentage. And all of that you can research and find out for yourself, but that is truly how it works. And that is what sets us apart. So if you're investing in a business, this technology, in my opinion, this is $1 billion technology. We have it exclusively at BioReigns. We do not white label. We do not offer that to anybody else. We do not manufacture or make our products in other facilities where other people's products are made. A lot of other companies, they all make their products in the same warehouse. They just put a different label on it. It's all made with the same exact ingredients and the same exact facility. It's the same thing with a different label. We do not do that. We handle our products from start to finish. We feel that that's critical. And those are the relationships that really set us apart. And I think that that's just very, very important to understand. The first thing when you're starting a business, you want that advantage. You want something that nobody else has, because that gives you that conversation when you're saying, hey, you can't get this anywhere else. And I really think you should try it. And one thing that I think is very important for me is when I speak to someone, I'm just like, listen, if I could give you a product that literally you would feel better, you would have more energy, you would be more focused, and overall, you can share this with your friends and family and know that everybody's going to be feeling better, would you do that? And if you were able to share your success with people that you care about, would you share a product like that? And of course, everybody would, because these are the people that we love and care about. And the third thing I say is, what if I actually told you I would pay you to do that? And I would pay them to do that. Well, that gets very interesting. And that's exactly why Amy and I chose to get into this industry. We didn't have any experience in this industry. But to be honest with you, my experience with being a broker and handling agents, I knew how it worked. You guys are our clients. You guys are our partners. You guys are our family. You guys are the part of us. We need you to go out and give us feedback on, hey, this is working. We need this. We need the doctors to educate us on this. We need to be able to provide this. And that's where people like you and people like Dana come in to be able to help us to give you the opportunity that you need. So to be very blunt, now is the time. We are going to start putting some incredible products out to market here very soon. We have a very large event set up in December. We have another very large event in February. And these are going to be big, big life-changing events. So the sooner that you get in, sometimes they say timing beats talent. The sooner you get into this business and start bringing the people around you in and helping them, and trust me, you have a great teacher, you have a great team around you. Dana will give you all of the tools and all of the support that you need, as well as corporate and as well as all of the other people around her. So We have a lot of very exciting things. We have a lot of promotions. We have a lot of really exciting plans coming out. We have a trip to Puerto Vallarta that you could still qualify for free. So there is just a lot of very positive things that are going on. And I really think above and beyond all of that, for Amy and I, this is really about helping people. So we'd love to help you feel better. We'd love to help you build your business. We'd love you to bring your friends and your family and your loved ones into this, and just to continue on our journey and grow our family. So that's really why I think that this is such an exciting time, because you are joining one of the fastest growing companies on the planet with a technology that nobody else will ever have access to. And that's really what makes all of this so different and so exciting. So I'm going to let Amy kind of chime in and share a little bit about her thoughts on all of this. This is my boss, and she is really the one in charge. So she trains me on what to say. And then I know Dana and her have these private conversations like, hey, how about Bryan says this? And then we'll say this. And then we'll just let Bryan think that he's in charge. Right?
Oh, I love my husband, and he's being very honest when he said he retired, because he did retire. Bryan's an all-in type of person, so he has a lot of passion behind him, but I told him he needed to figure out a better way to utilize his time. And when this all started, I was very proud of him. I always profess my love for him, and know that whatever he does, he'll be great at it. I honestly didn't try any of the products in the beginning, to be absolutely honest with you. I wasn't a CBD girl. I wasn't really into it. We happened to be at the scientist's house, and my son received a burn on his cheek. And the scientist told me, hey, I have something that I could put on his face. It might help it. And so he threw that on his face, and within an hour, his burn was gone. And I looked at Bryan and I said, whatever this is, we need to sell this. Everybody deserves to have this in their home. It needs to be affordable. I'm all in. And then that's when I started my journey with BioReigns, because of my personal situation with my son. And I could not believe what it did in front of my eyes. It was a life-changing moment, and I'm forever grateful for that situation, because it made me who I am today. And like Bryan said, this is our passion. We love it. We talk to everybody all day long, and we're just really excited to be here, and we're excited that you're here too.
Yeah, and for us, this has been really, really great for our relationship, because we've never really got the opportunity to work together. I've always known that, you know, Amy would be great, but to be honest, I was just like always the one out there doing that, and she was always the one taking care of everything perfectly. But this has been amazing, because we are actually just able to do this together as a couple and as a team. And I really just feel like this is our calling in life for both of us. And if you were to look at, you know, just how we were brought together, I mean, I'm going to be very honest. I 100% wholeheartedly believe that Amy saved my life, you know, saved me from myself. She's done that numerous times, because I'm so extreme in what I do. And it's just been a blessing on every level. I love just being able to meet all of the new wonderful people that join the company. And it just feels so good to go to bed at night knowing that we're helping people, and all of the wonderful things that people are sharing with us about what's happening with their health and just feeling better, and issues that may have felt like hopeless. Like there's people that just have felt hopeless, like there was nothing that would help, and these products have helped. And there's people that I know were struggling financially that have just done amazing. And, you know, I heard a great story of somebody that just lost their job due to COVID and just came into BioReigns, and she's turning this into a career. So we just could not be more blessed, because these are the things, this is real, and this can happen to all of us. And I just think that that's the great thing about BioReigns right now, is it is the time.
So I could not agree with you more. One of the things that I appreciate about Bryan is he walks the walk. and he talks the talk. And he's very coachable and teachable. And that's a hard thing to find in leadership in a corporate side, is having somebody who can be both. And I also appreciate that he is all in and intense. He flat out said in one of the very first meetings, he goes, "I'm very intense." I like that because I can appreciate it. I'm very intense as well. But if you can temper that with coachability and being teachable and realizing that the success only is successful if the field is successful, and that's a very unique perspective coming from a corporate in this industry, because corporate usually looks at their bottom line before they look at the field, where I believe that Bryan and Amy bring the right philosophies, the beliefs, and transparency with, if the field isn't successful, then we're not successful. And as a leader, if my field isn't successful, then I'm not successful as a leader in the industry. So I wanted to ask if you could touch a little bit on, we did just kind of expand into Canada, and are you able to talk a little bit about what 2021 is going to look like for BioReigns and for people who are, maybe wanting to be a part of who we are and where we're going?
Sure. So we ultimately will become an international company worldwide. So that's something that, we work on a daily basis. Each country has their own different requirements and laws and regulations and all of those things. So we will get to that point. So for me, proof of concept is always number one, proving what our products do, showing scientific and clinical proof. And then the efficacy, showing people that these are safe, showing people that these products are getting them the results that they need. We've done an amazing job with that, and we're going to even take this to the next level at the end of 2020. We've grown every single month, even through the challenges that we've had in 2020. If you look at numbers, I'm a statistics guy, I'm a finance major, I have a degree in finance. I love statistics, I love analytics. So if I look at what's going on with BioReigns and the trend of growth as a percentage compounding on top of each other, which that's what benefits BioReigns, but that's what also benefits you. That's what benefits every single one of you, is that compounding effect. Now, it's the same in real estate. It's a compounding effect is what you make money on if you know how to leverage correctly. And the first time I failed in business, it was because I became over leveraged, because to be honest, I was trying to take on more than I could chew. And to be perfectly honest with you, I just got greedy. And I learned from that. I learned you have to build on a solid foundation. I was 30 years old. I discharged over $50 million in debt. I lost 300 properties overnight. And what I learned was I didn't build it on a solid foundation. So when I rebuilt, I built the foundation rock solid first. I built my life to where I knew if I made zero, I could still maintain the lifestyle that I wanted and support this beautiful woman next to me. That was important to me because I failed at that my first attempt. So I learned how to do that. So the thing that I love about this business is building a network and building a solid team around you that's doing the same thing. There's safety in that, and there's residual in that. So if you were to look at a business, if you were to say, hey, in my first year, whatever that business model looks like, for BioReigns, we 5X'd it, right? So we went from doing about 200, maybe a tad over that, to over $1 million a month in 1 year. Now, what does that mean? That means that the reps that stayed consistent did the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a rep and you're like, hey, I'm making 500 a month, in a year you're making 2,500. The next year you're making 5+ because you're compounding it every single month. It's, I don't know if like if you were to take a penny and double it every day, what you're looking at in 30 days, it scales very quickly because it's compounding. And to me, volume is the key to any successful business, as long as it's built on a solid foundation and the right model behind it. Now, the culture and the people are equally as important, which we're very particular in the culture and the people that are representing BioReigns, because we all know what happens if you get the wrong people representing the right business and the right product. It's not done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So we hard, and that's why people like Dana are very valuable to us, because her intentions are good. She's very professional. She has the experience, and like she said, she's very coachable to what our system provides. We're very coachable to what her needs are. And that's how you build a win-win relationship. And that's the only way to be successful in any relationship. You need to be transparent. You need to be honest. You need to communicate and say what you need to say so you can win. And you need to listen to the other side so they can win. And that's how you create win-wins. If a relationship isn't win-win, it will never stand the test of time. And I think it's important that people understand, you know, that's the goal here. You know, I hear a lot of horror stories about this industry. A lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth, you know, of this industry. And I get it. I wasn't a part of that. I'm part of a success story, and I'm building something different that I can be proud of, because for myself and for Amy, it's more important for us to be smiling and proud of what we've done all day and know that we're helping people than going to bed at night with a bunch of money and everyone hates our guts. I don't want that. I don't need that. You know, I want everybody to win. You know, I'm not the guy, I don't care how old you are, what age you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your experience is. I don't care what your rank is. I don't care about any of those things. If you need help, we're here to help. And if you want to be heard, we're here to listen. And everything else is out the window, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This is not about me. This is not about Amy. This is not about Dana. This is not about any one person. This is bigger than all of us. And this is a journey that we can all go on together, and we can have life experiences that you can't put a price tag on. We're going to all go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, the first BioReigns trip ever. You can't put a price tag on that experience. That's something above and beyond all of the other things that we do, is the actual experience of being a part of something bigger than yourself, where you can say, I was a part of that. I was there. I remember that call with Bryan and Amy when I joined. Wow, look what we've done since that day. And those are the things that are important to us.
Thank you for that. Actually, literally, genuinely, thank you for that, because we would not have the opportunity if you didn't have the heart that you do, both of you, for the relationship. And it is what it's about. So in a nutshell, what you've basically said is we have a legacy lifestyle company with a product that's backed by a technology that can never be copied, duplicated, or replicated in the health and wellness space. That is prior to massive global expansion, and the company hasn't even really gotten off the tarmac of momentum, but we're going to. And to say that and still being ranked as the 15th fastest growing company globally, and no one's heard our name yet. And the field is an organic build based off of your vibe, what you're putting out about the quality of people that you're looking for. I do believe in the law of attraction, where we're attracting exactly what it is that we want here, and almost in a way, a natural repelling of that personality, if you will, that isn't that same mold of wanting coachable, teachable, and having a heart for the field. And so again, leadership rises and falls, but it starts at the top. And so what you're creating is something that, I'll be honest, as a leader in this industry since 2003, I have dreamt and believed to be able to create something where we honestly can have the right order of being able to build something where the effort is really put in the field. And that is something you don't find. You really don't find it. So if somebody is, as you said, you've heard a lot of horror stories in this industry, and the fact that you have experience, and of course, experience is what brings you to the table of, I would say, your compassion, both you and your wife, not just your compassion, but your empathy for people and your heart to serve. If somebody is saying, gosh, you know, I still have some questions, I'm not really sure, kind of what would you say would be your best next step for someone who is looking at BioReigns and is really wanting to partner with a company that has the heart that we have here? What would you say would be the next best step that you would encourage somebody to take here?
I mean, for me, like, if I'm kind of on the fence, I just don't think there's a better time to move into this than right now. I think right now the holidays are coming up. You're going to be engaged with a lot of other people. I feel that most people could use a little extra income. I think people right now can use a little bit more motivation. Our product X, we have a great beta going, a market survey. We're a few weeks in, but if you know you want to trim up a few pounds, jump into that, get engaged, learn. I think one thing is you're going to learn so much and meet so many great people. I mean, I was literally, when we were launching product X, I was like, you know, the price of this product is probably worth the money just to be in the chat room to hear all of the crazy things that are going on, product or no product, you know, because it is like 24/7 and it's exciting, you know. And in today's world, I'm going to be honest, like, it's hard to find good people. It really is. And BioReigns is a place where you have all of these great people. And, you know, I personally think 2020 has kind of changed the world as we know it. And I think this is a great, it's just, you can be happy, you can be healthy. I mean, our products have a lot of brain support, brain function. Like, that mental health is so important to me because I lived the life with zero mental, like, I was a mental health patient basically. I mean, there was a point where I was in rehab and it was like, was I clinically insane? You know, the same man that you're looking at today, I'm an intelligent guy, but you know, literally through my own behavior and through my own issues and through my own coping mechanisms and numbing mechanisms and all of the things that I experienced trauma growing up, it led me into something that literally I didn't know what was real and what wasn't, because I was under the influence. And I take that very seriously because, you know what, there's a solution. And that's what BioReigns is about. There's a solution. You know, I'm going to be honest, I'm 45 years old. When I wake up in the morning, sometimes I don't feel 25. But there's a solution. You know, we are delivering the ingredients that your body truly desires to be able to feel better. You know, look up curcumin and the information regarding inflammation and what that does. You know, lowering inflammation in our body is huge. You know, lowering the Z-scores in our brain, that's huge. That's, everybody is under stress. Everybody is under a lot of responsibility, you know, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, there's just a lot going on. And, you know, if you have a family, you know, you got your family, you got your kids, you got your animals, you got these things that come in the mail that you got to pay all of the time. They don't stop coming, and you got to deal with all of that. And, you know, when my feet hit the floor, instantly, it's my limitless, my lean, my vital IQ, and I'm getting that baseline lowered in my brain to keep things in perspective. And guess what? I'm able to say, you know what, today's going to be a great day. And just that fact alone, if you're looking for something more and you want to wake up and say, hey, today's a great day, I got all this great stuff going on, I get to talk to all these people at BioReigns, and you're feeling better, that's worth $600 in itself. To plug into your own business, be independently, you know, you're self-employed. You are in control of your financial future. You're getting a gift of $1 billion technology for $600, and you get all the products basically. If you choose the variety pack, like, you get to try it all out or share it all or however you want to go for $600 to be able to get your own website, get the ability to have access to all of the videos with the physician behind them, all of the studies, all of the information, and be able to share that with all of your family and friends and people that you work with or Zoom with or whatever it is that however you're communicating with people these days. That in itself, I don't know how you can possibly go wrong. I just don't. I mean, there's promos coming up. We're going to have a big November. You have the December event. We have a huge opportunity in February. Come out to Orange County, check it out. I mean, these are experiences you simply cannot put a price tag on. So if you're questioning, should I do it? Should I not? To be honest, what do you really have to lose? I mean, your worst case scenario, what's your worst case scenario? You know, honestly, you know, I just think for me, like, I've talked to so many people that are like, you know what? I just felt it and I jumped and it was the best thing I've ever done.
I'm going to quote Carol that's on here. She's up in Canada. And yesterday she said, the only thing I had to lose was pain. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, she saw the value because people are investing anyway and trying to feel better or to find right associations and relationships for sure. So I appreciate you both for taking time to really share your heart and why BioReigns, why now, and kind of a little bit of where we're going. And I know you can't let all of the secrets out of the bag, but I will tell you, we're going to have people probably going to have some other conversations or questions. And so I guess the other thing I appreciate is knowing that I can text Bryan and he texts me right back. And if I text him a question and he can't answer, he says, ask Amy. And I'm like, you got it. I'm going to go right over there. And so to be able to have hands-on with your owners in a company is also something you don't get, whether it's on the biotech side or the marketing side of what we do here at BioReigns. It's a gift. It's absolutely a gift. So when they both share that this is something where you look back in time and say, I was there in the beginning. He's right. You're looking at a company that is going to make a global impact and become a household name. And it's like Microsoft when it sat in the garage and somebody had a thought and said, do you want to be a part of it now? Well, the ones who said yes became billionaires, and the most millionaires were created in that space and time because of a breakthrough that hadn't been done before. And that was in technology. But when you can touch, and I will say when you can physically or emotionally touch somebody in the way that they feel or in their family's life, you have a residual client or customer, because they will not stop using something that has made that impact. And health and wellness is a space that is booming. It's not going away, but there's more and more awareness about absorption, ingredients, and what we're putting in our bodies. And so as the world pivots, as I think the timing of BioReigns entering our lives, again, it's not a coincidence, it's a gift. And so I do want to invite you to be a part of what we're creating here, to be a part of getting to know them personally and be a part of creating something that no one else will ever have the ability to do because of our technology that no one else can get. So please get back with the person that invited you. And I want to be the first one to welcome you to the BioReigns family.